I don't understand this at all, videbog. Usually when I open hailing frequencies, it just works right away. So, I mean, if you got something to tell me, I mean, and I was... Hey, there, tuscon47. I hope all is well in your dimension, relative in time and space. It is I, Dr. Cobblepot, of course, former two-time high-impact wrestling Tucson City champion. And I'm so happy to be a part of the festivities here today. Of course, if we rewind time just a couple of short years, the proud good doctor actually lost the Tucson City Championship at the Tucson Comic-Con to my perennial enemy and former tag team championship partner, Twisted, seen here with me, and Mr. Frank Powers, the man with the plan, the man who's put all this together and who's done just so much positive things for the community wherever he goes. And so I actually, and more specifically, although I'm very happy to be part of this, I really am here to reach out to you, Frank, to Mr. Powers himself. Oh man, it's been such a long time. I really wanted to thank you for putting this together. And I want to thank you for everything else, like I just said. So I'm repeating myself already. Frank, Mr. Powers, Ziggy and I have been getting some really strange... videbog and I... videbog, of course, my little gadget here. It's capable of manipulating time and space and controlling corporeal beings and entities. And I named it after my very first invention, the term videbog, short for video weblog. And of course, that was the first invention that I needed to put out here into the Plethoriverse, and I made it to free up everyone else's time, so you don't have to waste that energy and that breath and your valuable word time. Video weblog. Get out of here, videbog, so much easier, and it's free for you guys to use. Well, free, I mean, trademark, copyright, patent pending, Dr. Cobblepot Industries. Anyway, that's not really the subject at hand, is it? Is it, Frank? No. tuscon47. I'm very happy to be here, and I lost my belt at the Comic-Con. I'm repeating myself again. Frank, Ziggy, videbog, and I have been catching some really, really unusual frequencies emanating from in and around that particular time and space. And so I just wanted to reach out and, well, it has to do with the Plethoriverse. And now, that's at least second or third time that I've used that term, so you might be thinking to yourself,
what is a plethora?
And then my, of course, appropriate response would be,
Why, Wapo?
and I don't know if I got clearance for those clips. I don't know if that's allowed, but those are clips from The Three Amigos, the classic film, which I believe was filmed here in Tucson. Someone told me that. And in any event, the Plethoriverse is copyright, trademark, all rights reserved, patent pending, Cobblepot Industries term, which, you know, so you don't have to use those other words that people use in their intellectual properties. Plethoriverse. It's not really patent pending, guys. You can say it. But anyway, the Plethoriverse is no joke, Frank. And according to my readings here, not to point fingers and not to make listless accusations, but it seems that you may have been fooling around in the Plethoriverse a little bit. Now, I just want you to understand something. I'm sure in the present context of tuscon47 and with all your accomplishments and achievements and everything you do in the community, wherever you go, I'm sure the Plethoriverse is warm and comforting and cozy, but Frank, you've merely adopted the Plethoriverse. I was born in it, molded by it. But, folks, I don't have too many of those references, so take them where you get them. Anyway, the Plethoriverse is a fickle mistress, to say the least, Frank, and I hope I'm not pounding on my desk too often in the sound mix here, but there are many, many factors that you might not be taking into account when you're encountering the Plethoriverse. And so I've taken the liberty of scouring said Plethoriverse for any historical documents or educational film strips that I might be able to send your way for you to peruse so you can better understand that you are meddling with forces that you cannot possibly comprehend. That was another one. But like I said, not a million of them. So, Frank, it is with a great deal of respect and admiration for what you do. You might see Dr. Cobblepot, former two-time Tucson City champion, and you might think that here's a man who accomplishes everything that he set out to be. You could be further from the truth, but you're not 100% on target with that. I mean, come on, Frank. If I had accomplished everything that I ever set out to be, I mean, I don't even know what that would mean. But anyway, videbog and I are ready to cue up that historical document, educational strip footage that you really need to be seeing before you go trouncing around in the Pleatherverse any further. So please just take a couple of minutes. Here at tuscon47, I think we all can share and trade ideas and bring things to light that maybe might not have been in that light. So let's videbog, let's roll that footage. What do you say? The Pleatherverse and you! Ha ha! Greetings again, intrepid young scientists. It is I, Dr. Cobblepot, and you have made the brilliant decision to purchase the Pleatherverse and you instructional video set, care of Cobblepot Industries. And I want to extend my personal thanks and gratitude, and a little bit tip of the cap to the inherent seeking after intelligence that is outside of your periphery. And what a better place to start than in the Pleatherverse. I'm so excited, guys. Let's just get right into it. I'm going to pull up a chart here, the first of many. It was included with your materials. If you go through to, I believe it's subsection C, where we have the first illustration. And I'm going to pull it up here. This is not my chart. This is the time warp. Tangentially related, however, completely irrelevant to the conversation. I need to stop with all this nonsense and get to the meat and potatoes, to the subject at hand here, the dangers of wandering through the Pleatherverse or interacting with the Pleatherverse boundaries, which are more guidelines than actual boundaries. But that's a lesson for another day. The lesson today was supposed to be about... So, in summation, what I'm trying to say is, although I was totally stoked that we had another production coming from the people who brought you The Haunting on Hill House, which, really, really freaked my vibe out last year. I'm not even kidding. Some of that stuff, and a lot of the family dynamics, flashbacks, the secrets, all that, not to mention, the group hallucination. It was right up Cobblepot Alley, if you know what I mean. But, Haunting of Bly Manor, it was even creepier, in my humble opinion, because we had to deal with these British children. And I'm not trying to be discriminatory or anything like that, but if you put that kind of a person who fits that description into a horror movie scenario, it amps up the creepiness by 10,000-fold. Again, in my humble opinion. And I just gotta say, for 2020, a year that has been rolling at a steady 2 out of 10, just the last whole long time, it was really refreshing to have to change the undergarments so frequently as I did watching The Haunting of Bly Manor on Netflix. Pretty sure Netflix, maybe Hulu, I don't know. But anyway, here we go with the real one. Everybody knows there was one cinematic event of 2020 that if you snoozed, you losed, and you choose to not do what you needed. And that was Bill and Ted Face Music, and I saw it. Alright, it was pretty great. Honestly, nothing better than a good jam, and nothing better than putting it together. Honestly, if you're a fan of Bill and Ted 1 and 2, like the good doctor, you will be pleasantly surprised to see them passing the torch to another generation, completely ineptly, of course, but also the alternate Bill and Ted's from the timeline where they didn't manage to make the song. It's It was just so much fun playing with the ideas that have been established from other movies, mostly Bill and Ted, but I mean Time Cop, Back to the Future, Timeline, About Time, all kinds of different time travel movies. And honestly, have Dr. Cobblepot have a quick palaver on any of these, and it will turn into not so much of a quick palaver. So, in total, 2020, 2 bones out of 10. Haunting of Bly Manor, 10 thumbs up! And that's a prescription. The doctor is in the house.